Okay, the next one that the next PCS coding guideline we're going to look at is multiple procedures, B3.2b. The same root operation is repeated at different body sites that are included in the same body part value. So the example that we're going to use is excision of the sartorius muscle and excision of the gracilis muscle of the right upper leg. So the first thing that we have to determine is, if we don't know, what are those two muscles? Okay, so let's just take a peek here. So here we have nice little picture of the thigh, muscles of the thigh. Okay, let's get that in focus for you. And here we actually have, if you look here, here's the gracilis. So it's this muscle here that's coming down. Okay, it's an adductor group muscle. And then we have the sartorius, which is here, and it's a very long muscle. It comes all the way down and wraps around the knee. It's a flexor muscle, okay? But they are both in the same muscle group, the upper thigh. When we were coding ICD-9, we might have only said that we did a procedure on the upper thigh, on the thigh muscles. But now we're actually being specific about which ones are we working on. So we have to understand that these are two entirely different muscles, but they're within the same muscle group. Now that we've determined that, okay, let's move into, let's do our worksheet, our intent worksheet. So our intent of procedure here is we are going to remove part of the sartorius and gracilis muscles. Okay, so there we go. We're removing part of the sartorius and gracilis muscles. So now what do we need to do? We need to get out our handy dandy little Hagen Academy flip bits. Again, you can purchase it from them. And we need to look, right? So what are we doing? We're taking out part of a body part. So here, let's start looking. Take out some or all of a body part. Absolutely, that's what we're doing. A muscle is a body part. And now we have to determine where we fit here. Well, excision, we know, is cutting out or off without replacement a portion of a body part, which is what we did. We removed part of it. Okay? So we know that our root operation is going to be excision, which we also know is the character B, because it tells us right here. Okay? We have to make sure it fits the entire definition, okay? Which it does. All right? So, now, does it tell us what the major body system is? Well, let's find out here. Well, it does say muscles, doesn't it? That's what we're working on, is muscles. So that means we're going to have K. So it's muscles. And we know that that's going to be the letter K. The value in the second character of the second character is going to be K. The value of the third character is going to be B. Okay? Now we have the minor body part. And don't we have two? We have two minor body parts. So we've got one, the sartorius, and we have two, the gracilis. Okay? Now, how are we going to figure out our approach? Well, let's get out our decision tree. I'll put that right here. And we're going to start here. Now, Do we have an incision? Well, it doesn't tell us that that they used a scope, and that's generally not something they're going to do when you actually are reading through an OR report. That's generally something they're not going to do, is remove part of a muscle, unless they are doing some type of a small biopsy, but they'd have to pull muscle back together, and it's just too much. So we have an open procedure here. If it doesn't say that we went through the skin with a scope, that it was percutaneous, that it was laparoscopic, whatnot, we have an incision and it was open, because it does not tell us otherwise. It gives us no other information. So that's kind of our default, okay? So we're going to say that our approach is open. It does not tell us there was a device, so there's no device. And we don't know yet if we have a qualifier, except for the fact that we know we don't have a qualifier of X, because this does not tell us it was diagnostic. It's an excision of the sartorius muscle and excision of the gracilis muscle, right upper leg. So let's say sartorius and gracilis. Okay. So far, we know that it's going to start with 0 because it's a medical surgical, right? So we know it's going to start with 0. We know that it's going to have a major body system of K because of the muscles, right? And we know that it's going to be an excision, which is B. So far, we kind of have a good start, don't we? 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We also know that our second to the last is going to be Z. So we actually have quite a bit of information before we've even cracked open our book, right? So let's crack open our code book real quick. And we want to look at what? Excision, correct? So let's go to excision. And even though you already have that information where you're, as far as the table is concerned, you still need to go look, okay? Let me